February 9th, 1709, just before midnight, in the little village of Epworth, England. The Wesley family is asleep in the rectory when sparks catch the roof on fire and the house goes up in flames. The cry goes up. Samuel Wesley herds his children out into the freezing night and counts heads. One is missing. 5-year-old John is still upstairs, trapped as the fire eats through the house. The father tries to climb the stairs. They collapsed in flames. He dropped to his knees in the yard and commends the boy's soul to God. And then, at an upstairs window, a small face appears. Welcome to Lift Up Your Day, a 5-minute devotional, short stories with a biblical heartbeat. I'm Rodney and today, the night a little boy was snatched from a burning house and the purpose it's stamped on him forever. Little John Wesley had woken to a room full of smoke. He climbed onto a chest and poked his face to the window into the night air. Down below, neighbors saw him. There was no time for a ladder. The roof was about to fall, so one man climbed onto the shoulders of another man, reached up and pulled the boy out the window. Seconds later, the roof caved in. The whole house collapsed in the fire. If they had been a moment slower, John Wesley would have died that night and history would have never known his name. His mother, Susanna, gathered her rescued son and never forgot what God had done. She began to call him by a phrase straight out of the Bible, a brand plucked from the burning. It comes from the prophet Zechariah in chapter 3, verse 2, where the Lord rescues a man from a fire as a picture of grace. Susanna believed that God had spared John for a reason. She gave that boy special care and special prayer. Convinced the Lord had reached into the flames and saved him for some great purpose. She was right. That little boy grew up to become John Wesley, the preacher whose ministry helped spark a revival that swept across England and America. He rode 250,000 miles on horseback. He preached more than 40,000 sermons, and he launched a movement that still carries millions of people today. The brand plucked from the burning set the world on fire for God. Here's what I want you to carry with you today. There was a night when you should not have made it, and you did. Maybe it was an accident that almost happened, an illness that turned, a road you nearly went all the way down, and somehow you came back. You may have chalked it up to luck. Susanna Wesley would tell you to look again. The God who spared you did not do it by accident. You are still breathing because He is not finished with you. There is a purpose on your life, like a brand plucked from the burning, whether you have seen it yet or not. John Wesley spent the rest of his days knowing he had been saved for something. Live like that is true of you too, because it is. And that, friend, is how God lifts up your day.